Hey guys, how's it going? Good morning. Let me go set up this room real quick and then we can get started. So today is September 20th, Monday. So I'll set up right here on the YouTube. All right, let me get the Zoom link out to a lot of you guys as well here on the premium. So, this is the Zoom link. There you go. I'll start letting people into the room shortly. Let me just finish setting up this YouTube real quick. All right, everybody's gonna make their way into the room. Let me just finish wrapping up this YouTube setup and then we can get started with our analysis. So this morning, I don't know if you guys saw US 30. US 30 dropped like almost 5,000 pips. It's down like 600 points with the futures over here. It's down 633 points. So today is going to be a bit risky, guys, because the thing is, if it drops this much, the thing that most people are going to be looking for, are they're going to be looking for a correction, right? They're going to look for it to swing back up. The problem with that is that there's a lot of people who are already looking for that correction, right? It's 58% long right now. So with all those people looking for a correction to the upside, price might continue to just keep dropping. So we got to keep that in mind. We like when things are one-sided. We just don't like when things are heavily one-sided. Like where it's clearly, dropping or it's clearly going to go up, because that just leaves room for manipulation, right? You generally don't want things to look so obvious where everyone's thinking the same thing, and then the market makers and institutions use that to their advantage to stop people out, because volatility is probably going to be pretty crazy today. With it being Monday, market was closed for the weekend, it's barely reopening, and we'll see. We'll see what happens, but for today, we're probably gonna be a little more cautious. All right, I think we're good for the most part. Let me let everybody into the room real quick. Hey, morning, David. And David, I did see your message on Telegram. I haven't been on Telegram all weekend, so I'll get to your message shortly after this session has been taken over with. So sorry, let me fix the YouTube. I don't know why the YouTube's not loading. So I'm trying to get this YouTube going over here, guys. Here, let me just refresh this. Maybe this will work. It's 6:24, so we still have about 6 minutes till market open. I just want to make sure the YouTube's working fine for the people here who aren't, on the premium. Yeah, I don't know why it's not loading. Let's see. Morning, Maria. Morning, Abraham. Morning, William. Morning, Ajubal. CJ's asking, does this site, or is there a site where you can see gold market? Yeah, no, of course. We have it open right here. It's the same thing. You just search up gold. So there's a gold. There's one for almost all assets. There's one for gold. There's one for, I think people asked for NASDAQ yesterday. I'm going to turn this off because I don't trade NASDAQ, but we'll keep gold open here. And then there's also US 30 right here that we use. So it's now 60% long. You can see a lot of retail traders hopping onto the long side. With a lot of traders hopping onto the long side like that, we might see price actually go the other way. So we'll, like I mentioned, we're not going to jump the gun and just hop into trades right away. But for the most part, I'm probably going to be looking for some self scalps, because I want to do the opposite of like what everyone else is doing, especially if it's so one-sided, right? If it's dropped so much the previous day, we're probably going to want it to continue dropping that way. So we'll all right, CJ, let me give you the link for that real quick. There you go. Just post the link there. Morning, Miles. Morning, Adrian. Morning, everybody. All right, so you guys are good. The YouTube, for whatever reason, is not uploading. So I don't know if you guys can see. Well, you guys won't really care because you guys are here on the Zoom, but I'll try to check on that later. I see Joe's here on the YouTube. So morning, Joe. Um, I'll continue checking on it to see if I can fix it. I don't know what's really going on with it, but it's not. Every time I try to update the information, it doesn't update. YouTube's been having a lot of issues lately. Paul said, by the way, Shawn, thanks for these indicators. Are lifesavers. I made some quick trades after the stream was over on Friday, made 1,500. Nice. Paul, yeah, a lot of people still kept trading on Friday, even though I got off the live stream and made like some pretty good profit. So I'm glad to see that you locked in some pretty good profit off that as well. You pretty much covered your K2 subscription for like the year with like that one small area of trades. So let me check the charts real quick. Okay, so let's go to the 1 hour. I just want to see where the bias is looking. So the bias right here is obviously a sell, right? You can see how this huge waterfall just happened right here. Prices below pivots, trend meters red. Looking over here at the 10-minute, price is also below the pivots, trend meters red. Let me turn on my alerts over here. Looking over here on the 3-minute, price is above the pivots, but it was, before it was below it, it just temporarily shot up to the upside. So we'll see what happens when the market actually opens. And then looking over here at the 1 minute, same situation with the 3-minute. These are shorter time frames, so these might just be temporary noise where price swings to the upside, but it's probably going to swing all the way back down to the downside once the market actually opens. So there's a bit of a disconnect here because the higher time frames, 1 hour and 10-minute, are both bearish. However, 3-minute and 1 minute are both bullish, but they're temporary bullish moves because it was previously it was dropping pretty heavily right here, and then it just started swinging up about, I don't know, like 10 minutes ago. So right here, yeah, about like 10 to 20 minutes ago, it started shifting to the upside. So what might happen here is when the market opens, this might spike up a little bit, and then it might just come crashing right back down. That's kind of what I might see happening. And the reason for that's because everything is so heavily one-sided right now. If you look over here at the retail sentiment, you can see a lot of retail traders are hopping into the buy, right? It's 61% long. This is what we like. We want it to be at least 60 to 70 to 80% in one direction. And when it goes in that direction, we can trade opposite of everyone. So looking at this right here, a lot of retail traders are hopping into the buy. However, when the market actually opens at 6:30, which is in 2 minutes, the market makers, this is what they might do. They might spike price up slightly to lure in some more sellers. And then as soon as they have enough buyers, and as soon as they have enough buyers, what they're going to do is they're going to spike price all the way back down to stop everyone out. And that's kind of what I see happening here. So we'll see what happens. Market's opening in about 1 minute and 30 seconds. So once that happens, we can look to see where price is going. Like I mentioned, today's going to be a very risky day to be trading. If you guys want to trade today, maybe use a half lot size just to be safe. If you're fully confident with what you're doing and you know exactly what to do, then go ahead and use your normal lot size. But just keep in mind that there's going to be a lot of surprises in the market today. It is Monday. Markets is barely reopening for the weekend with regard to US 30, because US 30 is obviously it's the stock index of the top 30 US stocks. So when the market does open, you're probably going to see some volatility as we kick off the trading day. So let me go over here and stick on the 1 minute, and I'm going to zoom out right here just to see where price is going. So market is opening in about 30 seconds. Once market opens, we can determine what direction price is going. I'm possibly looking for a possible sell for the day, but we'll see. I mean, we really don't know until it happens, right? So let's see what happens here. Market's opening in about 15 seconds. Once the market opens, we can look at the fundamentals to see where price is likely to go. Right now, the retail sentiment is long, so we're looking for some sells. We'll see what happens when it opens. Okay, so market's opening in 4, 3, 2, 1. Market's now open. So let's see what happens here. See, is price going to come right back down? Let me open the fundamentals over here real quick and see where price is looking. So looking over here at fundamentals, it's all red. So there's no reason for it to go up, right? Looking at the stock index right here, the entire stock index is completely red. So there's no reason for it to go up. However, you're probably going to see some manipulation. If you see price go up right here, that's because it's going to be clear manipulation, right? Because look at the index here. There's no reason for it to be going up at all. It's completely red. To see a red. Looking over here at the daily index. So this is the daily average. It's down 531 points on open. So this right here is indicating that price should be dumping heavily. However, if price starts to swing up, that's going to be some clear manipulation going on, right? So just be patient. You can see this right here. Look at this huge wick. Price is going up for no reason right now. It's literally going up for no reason. So what I recommend is just wait. I'll mark it up if we do have a sell here, but I think we're going to see a manipulated push to the upside. So this is the breakout right here. I don't think I'm going to take it. I'm just going to look for scalps after. Because look at this right here. See how price is shooting up? There's no reason for it to be pushing up like that. Look at the index. It's down 531 points. Look at the actual stocks here, which is US 30. This is what's compiled of, right? There's no green stocks here. So there's no reason for it to be going up. Everything is going down, but you can see price over here is still pushing to the upside. So I'm not taking this breakout. I'm going to be looking for scalps after this. And you can see exactly why I wouldn't have taken it, because price is being manipulated. So I'm going to give it some time. I'm not in this trade. I don't recommend anyone take it. I'm just marking it up to show you guys, you know, what manipulation looks like, because the entire market is red. It's completely red. It's down 500 and whatever points, 591 points. The futures data is down 559 points. Let's see if CNBC has a update here. The entire stock, look at the Dow. The Dow is selling off crazy. Market self accelerates before the open of the Dow, dropping 650 points. That's 6,500 pips. The entire index is completely red. The Dow's red, S&P's red, Nasdaq's red, oil's red, 10-year bond is red, everything's red. And there's no reason for it to be pushing up like this, right? This is manipulation right here, clearly, because everything's red. There's no reason for it to be pushing up. So what I do recommend, guys, is you guys just hold off and wait before you hop onto anything. I think price is going to come down. Honestly, I think price is going to come down. This is just temporary. I think this is going to push up slightly. And this is my markup here on the 3-minute, right? This is what I marked up right before the session even opened. I said price is probably going to spike up. They're going to lock in some buyers here, then they're going to drop price once they have enough buyers in the market. So what I'm looking at here is I'm now going to look at retail sentiment. It's at 61%. I think this is probably going to push up to maybe 64, 63, 64, 65, around that area. And then once you get to that area, you're going to start to see it probably drop. But you can see this right here. I drew this right before the market even opened, and it's going exactly to where we marked it up from. So we'll see what happens from here. I do have my alerts set up, so we'll start looking for some possible scalps in a bit. You know what might happen is price might actually go up to this Asia low right here, and then this might be where it's going to reject from. But who knows? We'll see. We just got to be patient. But let me go back to the index over here just to show you guys, you know, this is super one-sided. Stock index is currently 489 points in the red still. Looking at the actual US 30 Dow index is completely red. There's one stock here that's slightly green, which is American Co, but it's only up about 0.16 points. It's not even up 1 point. So there's no reason for it to be going up at all. To be going up this much is it just doesn't make any sense, right? So price right here shot up about 1,400 points, or 1,400 pips. I see this starting to tumble down. So you can see here price is starting to come right back down. This is definitely something that you want to just hold off and just you know, wait for the market to smoothen out first, because the last thing you want to do is enter a sell and then it comes spiking up, or last thing you want to do is enter a buy and it comes all the way back down like it's doing right now. So it's all about patience, guys. Today's Monday. You know, even if we don't take very many trades today, the thing is, you guys got to keep in mind that, you know, this is a long-term game. It's not something where you want to get rich with 1 day of trading. This is something that you want to be consistent with and not get caught in these traps. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Riga. Morning, everybody. So yeah, hopefully you guys had a great weekend. I'm trying to catch some profits to kick off this week, but the market is obviously not moving smoothly right now. I'm going to wait for it to come back down. Once it comes down, we can possibly hop into some stuff here. So looking at the 3-minute, you can see price is starting to come right back down. But what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for retail sentiment to get longer. Right now, it's only 61% short. So a lot of these people are just waiting, right? They're waiting just like we are, but except these people are buying the dip. So yesterday, market sentiment was about like 52% long. It went up about, you know, obviously 10% here. And the reason for that is because price kept dropping. And then, so here's like the messy thing about this. Price kept dropping right here, right? And people kept trying to buy the dip, but when they bought the dip, it just kept dipping. So price came down, they tried to buy the dip, it consolidated, dropped farther. They bought some more here because they thought it was going to push right back up, and then just kept dipping and dipping and dipping. Then now it's probably going to keep dipping even further. It looks like price might have hit some liquidity here around these areas for whoever was taking the sells, but I don't see that area really holding up for too long. So as this number continues to increase a little higher, maybe I can start drawing some liquidity zones. It's not strong enough for me to really trust them yet, but it would be good to, possibly draw some liquidity zones in case it does come right back down. So morning, Alice, morning, Lisa, morning, everybody. If you guys have questions, go ahead and drop your questions in the chat. Right now, we're going to be taking it easy. It's 6:36 right now. Let me check the news to see if there's anything coming up shortly. So this morning, we have the NAHB Housing Market Index at 7. I don't think it's going to affect the market very much. There's the federal election of Canada today as well, something to keep in mind. And I think that's about it. Today's a bank holiday for China. It's not really going to affect us very much. Everything else is kind of slow. We have high impact Australia news at 6:30 p.m., but that's not till a lot later. So, I mean, for the most part today, we have a clear market, right? There's no reason for price to really be spiking around how it is. But I mean, it does what it does, right? The market's going to do what it needs to do. And we're just going to be here to catch these moves when they provide us entries. But right now, there's no entries that are available. I'll also put the strategies up here for those wondering, what we're applying. So let me go here and put the 1 minute right there. I'll put the 3 minute right there. We'll probably even look for the daily entry today because volatility is going to be pretty high. So the 10 minute over here, there's going to be 2 different strategies that we may be applying. I'll just put the snipe here, and then I'll also put the daily entry as well. Because I've seen a lot of you guys start taking the daily entry, and you guys have started to make some pretty nice profit off it. So, this would be the daily entry. This would be the snipe. 2 different strategies that we'd be applying here. I'm going to go and draw some. There's no zones down here, so there's not really going to be much of an entry for the snipe at this time. So one question that I get a lot is people ask if we can take the daily entry off to 6:30. So we can't take this candle right here if this closes. What we'll be looking for is the next one, because we're looking for the entry after the New York Stock Exchange open at 6:30 a.m. So this is the opening candle. We're looking for the one following this. So there's the strategies right there for you guys. If you guys have questions and want me to go over anything, feel free to ask. I don't think we're going to get any entries anytime soon. So if you guys do have questions, I can answer them right now. Otherwise, we'll just wait for an entry here. So same markup that I did earlier this morning. It looks like it's starting to play out. I don't know if it's going to push up any higher. If it does, it's definitely going to continue to drop down after. So as you guys can see, this big drop right here, right? So price came up. What I mentioned was when price was going to open, it was going to spike up. So it spiked up and then it starts to drop right here. This drop has dropped a total of about 800 pips within the last 10, 15 minutes. I do see it dropping even more. And the reason for that is because we have such a high, it's not that high, but it is pretty high retail sentiment over here. You can see the number changing, right? Number one from 61% to 59%, because a lot of people who are long are now shifting to the sell side because they do expect the drop to come right back down. Something to keep in mind. So what we have right now is just some consolidation. What's going to happen here is price will just consolidate to the side, and then it'll either spike up or it'll spike down. If it does spike up, I think it's going to be a temporary spike up. I think eventually it'll come right back down, but just like I mentioned, it's not going to happen immediately. I mean, it can happen immediately, but odds of that happening are pretty slim. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to draw some zones right here, just so that we can identify where the range is occurring. Because the price is currently ranging right now. The reason why I drew this is because this is the high from when the consolidation started, and this is the low. If it breaks above, then we'll just delete this, and we'll start looking for a higher push to the upside. But I'm definitely waiting for this to tumble back down. That's going to be my main thing that I'm going to be focused on here. So looking at current price, you can see price came up, tested this area, and then now it's starting to come back down. We'll see what happens in the next couple minutes. So going back to the fundamentals, let's see how many points is it in the red. It's still down 457 points. That's still a pretty big drop. Here's some news from CNBC. The Dow sheds more than 500 points, which is 5,000 pips, amid growing risks, on pace for its worst sell-off since July. So definitely some huge drops right here. You can see the entire market is completely red. So on Wednesday, Fed Chair Jerome Powell is going to be speaking. He's going to hold a press conference. We'll probably see price drop until then, and then on Wednesday, Powell usually says good things about the economy. So once he comes on, we're probably going to see a spike back to the upside. So for me personally, okay, so price broke this area. I'll just delete this. For me personally, I see price probably continuing to, for the most part, drop until Wednesday. And then on Wednesday, when Jerome Powell does speak, let me check if there's anything else here. Yeah, so on Wednesday, they're going to have the FOMC economic projections, FOMC statement, FOMC press conference, and the federal funds rate. So I think from now and tomorrow, it's probably going to go sideways, if not drop. Not drop heavily, but it's, it's going to be a continuing decline to the downside. And then on Wednesday, when the Fed speaks at 11, Powell's going to say good things about the market, obviously, like he always does. And then he's just going to push price up. That's why you guys see a lot of memes with Powell like printing money, right? You see him rolling the thing and money shoots out because everything that he says is going to be positive for the economy. So that's kind of what I see happening, just looking at the news and just from my analysis here. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else that I'm missing here. I don't really see anything over here as much. Looking at the Dow index, let's check this out, update it real quick. The index is still red for the most part. There's 3 green stocks here, but they're not very green. There's like Verizon's up 0.1, Procter & Gamble's up 0.3, Walmart's up 0.2. They're not even up like 1 point. Goldman Sachs here is down 12 points. That's enough to like cover the entire green stocks, altogether. Hey, Pablo, morning. Let's see if there's anything else here. So we're still looking for possible entries here. We just don't have anything that's available just yet. Morning, Delmas. Morning, Ellis. Morning, Lisa. Miriam said, what's the impact on the US dollar when the Fed tapers, raises, reduces interest rates? So when they raise interest rates, it's like the opposite from like lowering it, right? So when they lower it, it basically weakens the US dollar. When it does the opposite, it increases the value. So, I mean, there's no, I wouldn't say it's like a direct impact, but it obviously, it would affect it. So Miriam's question is basically when the Fed tapers raise. So I don't know what you really mean by like Fed tapers. What do you mean by Fed tapers? I could look at like reduces and raises interest rates. So like basically when they raise interest rates, that's going to indicate that the US dollar is strong. So when they do that, it'll increase the US dollar. When they reduce it, it's the opposite. That's why like during COVID, during COVID, the interest rates went super down because people just didn't have money. People needed to take loans down, stuff like that. So like the interest rate was like super low, and that's why the dollar was cheap, right? Now if they raise it up, it's going to be the opposite. So that's the main thing. I mean, it's not I wouldn't say it's a super direct impact because there's other factors as well that will come into it. Usually there's a balance there. If they're raising the interest rate, there's going to be other things that will balance that out. They're changing other policies. So I wouldn't directly just look at interest rates and then base everything off that, whether the dollar is strong or weak. There's other things as well that will come into it because the economic projections, this is going to go over not just interest rate, but it's going to go over just everything in the US, right? With COVID happening and just like, spending and stuff like that, there's it's a whole sphere of different factors that go into determining, how weak or how strong the US dollar is. But that's just one factor to look at. Let's see, anything else here? Brandy said happy Monday, everyone. Happy Monday, Brandy. Morning, Al. Morning, Alex. Let's see. Abraham said, good thing we didn't enter the sell breakout close to the Asia high. No, exactly, Abraham. I thought the same thing. So looking at this right here, if you guys were watching my analysis from earlier, I was thinking price might come up to this point, the Asia low, and then it might just come right back down. But we'll see. I mean, I'm not going to hop into anything yet. What I see happening right here is they're still pushing price up to lock in some more buyers, but I think price is definitely going to, possibly come right back down. Looking over here at sentiment is now, it's still at 59%. Earlier this morning, it was at 61. So you can see people are kind of being cautious with their entries here. Because if you look at the daily here, price is still coming down pretty heavily. So if we go over to the 1 hour, price is still coming down. Like it's coming up right here. But what might happen is price might come over here and reject off the pivot and then just come right back down. Right. So this is like looking at it from a higher perspective. Looking at the 1 hour, looking at the 10-minute over here, also looking at the 3-minute. So let me check this right here. This wouldn't be considered the breakout because it's on the 630 candle. We need the one after it. So looking at this strategy right here, we're looking now for a possible sell. So We're going to let it push up a bit. And then when it drops, we can possibly take that daily entry right there. For the snipe, I don't think there's any snipes that are available. Let me check the K2SR. Nothing there, so no snipes available. Now looking over here on the 3-minute. We'll see what happens over here. Hey, Kendra, morning. All right, so we're just going to we're going to wait for any possible entries. Let's see, Roger has a question here. Roger said, so in the daily strategy, we ignore the first candle on open, which is 630 to 640. Then we look for the first valid K2 momentum indicator, then enter on the following candles. So 650 open is the earliest we can enter. Yeah, correct, Roger. So that is correct. So the strategy that Roger's referring to is the daily entry. So I'll just delete this for now. So for the daily entry right here, we're just looking for entries after New York Stock Exchange open, which is going to be 6:30 a.m. I'll mark it up right here at 6:30. So basically what we're looking for is the first valid K2 momentum signal after this, right? Let me go back over here and I'll show you guys the entry from, I don't think we would have taken it on Friday because, you know, this is a daily strategy. So you would have to hold on to it for, you know, quite some time before it, you know, it reaches its point. So like right here, we wouldn't have taken this because market would have closed and we would have been caught in this position over the weekend. So just looking at this right here, let's see how far did it drop. It dropped pretty nicely, but obviously this is one that we would skip. Looking at Thursday is one that we would have taken. So Thursday over here, the 15th, and I'll just show you guys, I'm trying to show you guys an example of like how the strategy works. So like you guys will know what we're looking at here. So we're looking for the first entry after 6:30, right? 6:30 was right here. This is the first valid K2 momentum signal. So you'd enter this right here for a long. TP stop loss for 1,500 pips. K2 US 30 daily. So yeah, looking at that right there, this is what you'd be taking. You let it run. And then it takes a while to hit, but it does hit eventually, right? So this is what we're looking for. We're looking for the first valid K2 momentum signal after 6:30. This is the first valid signal. It comes down for a little retracement, and then it spikes all the way back up. That's just, you know, this is how the market usually works. It'll push up a little bit, retrace down. Some people will wait for it to drop a little bit to get a discount, and then they ride it all the way back up. So that's the strategy that we're looking for right here, what Roger just referred to. And I'll put it back over here. So we're looking for a possible sell. For the daily entry, we're looking for a sell. Cutoff time for entry is going to be 9 a.m. So you want this sell to come up between this point in time and this point in time right here, because you just want to catch a momentum swing for the day. If we don't get an entry within this time period, then we skip the daily entry. We look for it tomorrow. Otherwise, we'll be looking for some scalps meanwhile. So you guys can see right here that it's doing exactly what we anticipated, right? So we anticipated price to push up, reject off the Asia low, and then possibly come right back down. So we'll see what happens here if it ends up dropping. If not, that's fine. We can probably start looking for some possible scalps for the buy, but I think price is probably going to keep pushing down eventually. So I don't think this push up is going to hold for very long. It's going to have to come down eventually at some point. Let me just go and fix this real quick. Looks like someone accidentally drew on the screen. I'm just going to delete that. The screen's clear. All right, we're good to go. So let's go back to the fundamentals. And this is what you guys have to do, right? A lot of people like to just hop into trades because they see something off the technical side, which is okay. But if you guys want to have a full understanding as to like where price is going and where it's going to go in the future, like not like so far out, but in the near future, you want to look at the fundamentals. If you know, if the stock index is completely red, odds are it's going to come right back down, right? If it's green, then it's probably going to come up. But looking at this right here, the entire stock index is red, right? If you look at this here, the daily average is down 375 points. So it's down pretty heavy. Normally it's like, normal is like around 100 points. 100 points is like, okay. If it's down 200, 300, 500, 600 points, that's a huge drop. So looking at this right here, the actual index right here is still completely red. It's all red. There's 3 green stocks here: Verizon, Procter & Gamble, and Merrick, but they're only down. I mean, they're only up not even 1 point. They're up now. Verizon's red and Procter & Gamble's red too. The only stock that's green right now is Merck & Co. So Merck & Co is up 0.16 points. You know, these stocks over here, Coca-Cola is down 0.52 points, which would pretty much cover the entire green stock right here. So if you look at this from a bigger perspective, it's all red. So if it's all red, where is the actual index supposed to go? It's supposed to go down, right? Right now, price continues to push up. So it just makes no sense for it to push up right here. This is why I'm waiting for the sell, because this just makes no sense. It makes literally no sense for it to come up. The entire index has been red this entire morning. If you look at the actual, like the whole stock market as a whole, like look at this right here. Man, this guy's like, he's all stressed out. It's funny how they use pictures like this of people stressed out because the actual index is all red, right? So the Dow 30 is red, down 423 points. S&P is down 60 points. NASDAQ's down 241 points. The Russell 2K is down 55 points, and the VIX is slightly above, but the VIX doesn't necessarily go like hand in hand with like the Dow anyways. So with this all red right here, this would indicate that price is likely to drop, right? However, if you look at the candles here, it's still pushing up. So the market opened here at 6:30. Market opened right here at 6:30. This is when the stock market opened right here. From open, prices pushed up a total of 2,350 points, and it's still pushing up, which makes, I mean, you know, using your common sense, this looks like it makes literally no sense. And the reason for that is because the entire index is red. There's a couple green stocks right here, but it's not enough to push it up like that, right? So I'm just gonna wait for the drop. I think the drop's eventually gonna happen. It's just going to, you know, you gotta wait for an actual entry. Riga's asking, are we selling? So we're not doing anything right now, Riga. I'm looking for a sell. I mean, I've been looking for a sell all morning, but we're looking for an actual entry. Like if I get a sell signal right here on the 1 minute, I'm not gonna take it because it's not a strong signal. If we have an actual entry, like if these requirements are meant for a sell, then yeah, I'll take the sell, but I'm not just going to hop into a sell, you know, just because. I'm going to wait for an actual entry. So I'm going to draw this right here. You know, what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to draw some liquidity zones because price is so heavily pushed to the upside that it just has to drop. There's like no reason for it to keep pushing up like this. So I'm drawing some liquidity zones right here. Christopher said liquidity zones, question mark. Yeah, liquidity zones. I'm drawing it because it's so one-sided right now, Christopher. So see price is coming down right here. If price ends up closing below here, then we could probably see some sort of drop happen. It's going to need some space though. So maybe if it comes down to these pivots, we could probably see some sort of drop happening. And there you go. See, it's starting to drop. A lot of people's stop losses are getting triggered for whoever's like entering a buy. And that's where I'm drawing these liquidity zones, because the thing is, a lot of buyers are getting trapped in this market. They're just chasing the move, right? A lot of retail traders, what they do is they see a big spike up to the upside like this, and they just try to enter these trades. So like say for example here, I'm just going to show you an example of what retail traders normally do. So basically what they'll do here is they'll see this big push to the upside, right? And they think price is, oh, it's going to keep pushing up. So what happens is a lot of people enter a long position right here. And where do they place their stop loss? At the previous swing or somewhere below it. So they'll probably put their stop loss somewhere around here. That's why I have the circle drawn right here, because when these stop losses get triggered, you're going to have a stop loss hunt and price is just going to keep dropping farther and farther down. So that's what I'm drawing right here. If you guys are wondering, if you guys are brand new here, you guys probably don't, you know, you guys are probably not familiar with it, but if you guys have been around for a while, you guys have probably seen this before. But we'll keep watching for it. If it doesn't drop down here, it's probably not going to trigger the stop losses and it's going to keep pushing up. And as it continues to push up, that's fine, because we'll keep drawing liquidity zones as we continue to move on further. So looking at the stock index, let me check this again real quick. It looks like there's some stocks that are starting to pick up a little bit. It's the same stocks that we were looking at earlier. It's Verizon, Merck & Co., Procter & Gamble, and Walmart. They're all green right here, but they're not very strong. Looking over here at the daily average, it's down 400 points still. Looking at the futures data is down 378 points. So they're all pretty red right now. Everything's still pretty red for the most part. Looking at retail sentiment. What the heck? There's no retail sentiment now. That was weird. Let me try to refresh this. US 30 IG sentiment. So they took down the retail sentiment. That's really unusual. I've never seen it. Yeah, there's no retail sentiment right now. That's really weird. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, they took off all the retail sentiment right now for IG. That's weird. Hmm, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know, guys. I've never seen it where there's no retail sentiment there. So I think there might be some like unusual move that's probably gonna happen. So I've never seen this where it's taken off before for IG. It's like they decided to just remove it. I don't know if they like realize that I've been using this tool. Yeah, I shouldn't have shared it with you guys. Yeah, we'll see. Rav, so the IG that you're looking at, Rav, that's not the sentiment. That's just the percent. Like if you look at the normal points here, that's the same thing as the Dow Jones. It's down 400 points. That's not the percentage of like where retail traders are. Those points are, I mean, they're relevant, but they're not very relevant because what we're looking for here is we're looking for actual like where traders are trading. So we'll see what happens. It looks like price is just consolidating now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust this liquidity zone, and I'll draw another one up here as well. All right. So what I'm looking for here, guys, is price is obviously ranging right now, right? It's just going sideways. What I'm looking for here is I'm personally looking for it to come down here. If it doesn't come down here, it'll probably come up here and it'll continue pushing up higher. It looks like the market makers institutions are probably just they're probably trying to gauge where the retail traders are, right? If there's enough buyers here, then they can spike price down and make money off all these people. However, if they don't have enough yet, they're going to keep pushing it up higher. So if it doesn't drop at this point, what I see happening is price will probably push up higher, and then it'll continue going sideways, and then again higher. Until eventually it's going to happen. Probably not going to see that anytime soon. Meaning like within the next couple hours. It might happen like mid-session because we do have the mid-market reversal that's still to happen as well. So there's a lot of different factors that you can factor in to identify where price is going. That's kind of where we're looking at with this as well. You can see right here, price has been rejecting off the Asia low for the past like hour now. So for the past hour here on the 3-minute, price came up, rejected off the Asia low, came right back down, came back up, rejected off it, rejected off, rejected off it. So it might be preparing for a big move in either direction right now. So I'll just leave that there. That's exactly what we were looking at earlier. It's playing out kind of like how we anticipated. Looking over here on the 10-minute, we're still looking for a valid sell signal. Once we get that valid sell signal, we can take this for a drop to the downside. So yeah, something to keep in mind. Let's see, Roland said level of supply is 34,280. 34,280. Gotcha. Yeah. So Roland, the 4-hour supply zone that he's identifying is like somewhere around this area up here. Yeah, it's in between these two zones right here. So we'll see what happens when price gets to that point. But yeah, I'm not going to jump the gun on anything. I'm going to wait for it. But yeah, thanks for letting us know about that, Roland. I'll just draw a zone right there so we can, or I'll just draw a line actually. We'll just look out for that area that you just mentioned if price ends up getting around there. So let's see. All right, we'll watch it. We'll see if it gets that high. Otherwise, we'll see what happens here. Looks like price might be ready to drop at this point. Okay, so back to the 1 minute here. It looks like it's going to hit the liquidity zone. Yeah, I'm thinking about hopping into like a speculative. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to wait. I'm not going to hop into any like crazy trades right now because the thing with this is it's still kind of just going back and forth. But it did hit this area right here. If you see this drop at this point to this next area, then you guys will know exactly why that happened, right? Because I drew this liquidity zone here, and you can see price starting to drop even further. So let's see. Ellis is asking, can you show your settings on the K2SR when you turned it on? Looks different than mine. The settings are default for the K2SR, Ellis. The only difference that we have is we have it extended further. So for the K2SR, these are the inputs. I have 100 bars and then 500 links, so it goes across the entire screen. But this is pretty much default. And then for this, you can check off or check show body levels. So it'll show you some zones there. So it should be default. The only difference you should probably change is this to make it longer, or the show body levels. All right, so you can see prices starting to drop a little further because it's starting to trigger a lot of people's stop losses, right? Like I mentioned earlier, this is the area of liquidity that I mentioned. Price reached this area, now it's dropping a little bit. I'm not gonna hop into these sells though, because these are all speculation, right? They don't fall under any of these strategies. So I'm not going to hop in. Sometimes I do hop into these trades if I feel really comfortable about it, but I don't feel comfortable today because it's just so one-sided. If it wasn't so one-sided like it is right here, then I'd be more like inclined to take the trade. But the thing is, it's like literally like you can just throw a dart on the wall and you're going to look for a sell, right? Because if you throw a dart here, like say you're looking to take any of these stocks, right? And you have the entire Dow index spread out, you throw a dart at the wall and you're going to hit one, and the one that you hit, you're either going to buy or sell. They're all going to be red, so you're probably going to sell, right? And you can see here it's doing exactly what I just mentioned, right? I could have taken the trade, but I didn't because I just didn't feel comfortable about it. But you guys can see that my analysis plays out perfectly, right? I said it was going to hit the liquidity zone and it was going to push down to this area. Look where price is going. I probably should have taken it, but I didn't. It's all good. I'd rather be safe than sorry, because I'd rather be watching my analysis play out than me having to worry about losing a trade when I knew it was going to be risky. So there you go. It did exactly what I mentioned, right? It came down, hit liquidity, my liquidity zone right here, and then it came all the way down here. So it did exactly what I mentioned. I should have taken that trade now. Now that I keep thinking about it, that was a nice profit. That would have been 700 pips. That'd be 7,000 profit I would have made if I took this trade. It's all good. I should have taken a small lot like Abraham. So Abraham said caught it at a small lot. So Abraham actually caught it. But I'm glad to see that some of you guys are taking my my analysis into play, and you guys are actually executing off my analysis here. So glad to see you guys profit off that. It's fine. Profit will come regardless. I'm just waiting for a better entry. This right here was a decent entry. It wasn't that good. It was a bit risky, so I didn't take it. But if I do see one here off the 10-minute for this daily entry, then yeah, I'll take that. It's gonna be a bigger move. It's gonna be for about 1,500 pips versus these smaller moves here. Nice. Nice. So yeah, a lot of you guys here did catch it. So Maddie over here caught it as well. He said he caught it, but for a small move. Abraham said he caught it from the second liquidity mark. So it looks like Abraham actually caught it from up here. He caught it for about a 900 pip move. It's nice. So even if you took a smaller lot, it's a nice big move right there. It's a big drop. So let's see the profits over here. Yeah, it looks like a lot of you guys locked in some good profits. Juan over here locked in some pretty heavy profit right there. His other account right here, 420. I think this is his personal account. So this one looks good right there. Let me just copy this over. Yeah, if you guys have profits you guys want to send over, go ahead and send them over, and then I'll just add them to the list. Alex said first day civilian, so many break evens. Sadly, 2 losses due to the wrong entry, but he did make some pretty nice profit for the day so far. So Alex over here was taking the trades as we were discussing. Obviously, he caught these moves. He locked in a total of 2,139 for the day. Nice work, Alex. Let's see. Paul over here as well. Paul took some nice trades, locked in a total of 1,495. Great work, Paul. Oh, this is from Friday. Okay, so this is one that Paul was referring to earlier. Looking over here, Cheryl locked in a total of 1,596. Great work, Cheryl. So as you guys can see, a lot of people here are just listening to my analysis and taking trades off like what I'm saying. There hasn't really been an official entry that's been available for us yet, so I haven't taken the entries. For me, I'm a very conservative trader, so I only hop into trades when I see something that's almost guaranteed. Looking at other people here, they've caught into some trades here. as I've discussed it. So Patricia over here as well. Patricia looked like, so she took a buy there. So she kind of chased the buy. Looks like Patricia had a one rough sell, but made it right back. So she took a buy right here. It looks like she was trying to cash it as it continued to push up. Took a little loss there, but for the most part for the day, she's up 4,275. So for that one sell there off that liquidity break, she locked in 4,875 to pretty much bring her account right back to where it was prior to this accidental loss over there. So nice work, Patricia. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else that I'm missing here. Yeah, if you guys have any other profits that you guys want to send over, I mean, feel free to send them over and I'll add them to the list. Nice work, Patricia. Yeah, 4,275. Maddie over here, Maddie locked in a total of 1,138. Nice work, Maddie. Yeah, so all you guys did pretty good so far. With price currently swinging back up like this, price did exactly what we thought. Now at this point, we're now looking for new liquidity zones, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete all this stuff here again. So I'll delete this one because this is done with. The new liquidity zone is going to be right here. I'm still looking for an entry though. I'm not going to take any risky trades today because it is, for one, it's Monday. For two, the market's kind of just going back and forth at this point. So I'm still looking for sells. Like for the most part, I'm identifying a sell to happen eventually, like a bigger sell. But I'm just waiting for it to happen. So here, looking at the stock index, the entire index is again completely red. So it's got to drop. You can see price pushing right back up right here. People are buying the dip, but I think it's going to continue to drop. So sorry, I'm tired. Tired from the weekend. You can see prices probably come up and retest this Asia low again right here. Same with here on the 3 minutes. So you can see this is it's actually pretty spot on. So you guys can see right here the market the markup that I did before market open. So before the market even opened, I drew this right here, right? So market open here at 6:30, and I drew this right here before the market even opened. I said price is probably gonna push up and it's gonna come right back down, and that's exactly what happened, right? Price came up, tested the Asia high or Asia low, and then it came right back down right here. So it's good to see that the analysis is playing out. Obviously, I didn't make any profit off the trade, but it would have been nice if I did take it. That'd have been a good entry right there, actually. But you guys know how I trade. I don't like trading off luck. I like to trade based off skill. So I'm looking for actual entries here. I'm not just hopping into trades because I feel price is going to drop. I'm going to hop into a trade if I know it's going to drop. So we'll see what happens here. So let's see. There's a retracement on the 1 minute. Yeah, Maddie said there's a sell coming here off the 1 minute. So if we do see a sell here, I'll probably hop into that as well. Thanks, Maddie, for confirming that. See if there's anything else here that I'm missing. So if you guys decide to take this 1 minute sell, this is it's actually gonna be kind of risky because the volatility is so high. What I would recommend is probably use a half the lot size and then hold on to it longer, because it's eventually going to drop. But the problem with this here is that it keeps spiking up and down so fast. So like if you're only going for 300 pips stop loss, you might get stopped out before you even hit your TP. So just something to to keep in mind. Fahad said sentiment's back on US 30. Let me check. Not yet. I mean, this is weird, right? It's weird that it's not on here. I've never seen it where there's no sentiment there. They also took sentiment off for everything else. It wasn't just US 30. But oh no, gold is back up. So gold is up right now. It's 81% long, but US 30, they haven't put this one up yet. That's kind of weird, right? Like out of all the assets, why is it just that US 30 is not showing? Fishy. It's okay. We don't really need it because we already know where price is. We know where the retail traders are. Okay, so it's still down pretty heavily. Looking here on the 1 minute. So there's a 1 minute scalp right here. If you guys want to take it, feel free. But like I mentioned, you might want to take it with a smaller lot size or time it to get it at a discount. Because the thing is, price is so volatile right now, where I'm probably not going to enter this yet. What I might do, guys, is I might just look for a higher time frame. So I might not even trade on the 1 minute. And the reason for that is because price is too volatile. I want to catch price when it's like moving a little smoother. Oh man, I would have missed it too. I wonder if I could take this for like a quick little. Oh fuck! That was an accident. Okay, shit. I took that with too big of a lot size. That was shit was my bad. Oh fuck. That was my fucking heart like kind of just stopped for a second. I took a 20 lot. That was kind of crazy. Um, okay, let me just send you guys my profits. That was an accident. I was trying to use a smaller lot size, and I forgot I was playing around with this right here, and I took a 20 lot. So I hopped in and I hopped out real quick. So let me just send you guys my profits. Um, okay, I made 2,000 off that trade, which I don't recommend anyone ever do that. That was a stupid move by me, because what happened was I was switching accounts on my FTMO because they have new, I don't know, whatever, they just released some new stuff. So I had to log out and then log back in, and it was accidentally at 20 lots. So let me just show you guys my profits here. I don't recommend anyone ever do that, but I'll just send you guys my profits. I got lucky with that. I hopped in really quickly, hopped in and hopped out. So off that trade right here, I took a 20 lot on accident. I just hopped in, made 2,000, and I pulled out. So let me change my lot size real quick before I do that again on accident. Okay, change my lot size back to normal. So yeah, I took this trade here on accident, but I made profit. So if this is all I make today, I'm happy with it. It still played out perfect though. But just like Alex said, it could have went south like quickly because of the volatility in the market. The volatility actually worked in my favor because right when I entered, it dropped really quickly and it hit my TP and then I pulled out. I'll just give you guys a little update here in the group for whoever decided to take that trade too. And that woke me up for a second. Give you guys a little update right here for that. All right, give you guys a little update there for this. Man, it's a case of the Mondays. I can't believe that happened. Like it never happens to me where I make an accident like that, because I was actually looking to lower my lot size and I didn't even change lot size. I just hit sell and then it dropped like super heavily. All right, it's all good. I'm gonna be looking for other scalps, but I'm gonna be a little more careful this time. I already changed my lot size back to normal lot sizing, so I don't have another accident like that. I mean, it was a good accident, but I mean, it could have went south really quickly, just like Alex said. So Ardonius over here took the sell as well, locking a total of 200 almost. Nice work, bro. Who else? Dell over here too. Dell locking a total of 551 this morning. Nice work, Dell. Fidel over here as well. Fidel locking a total of 775. Great work, Fidel. Maddie over here locking a total of 1,674. Nice work, Maddie. All right, you guys did pretty good so far. Cheryl as well. Cheryl locked in a total of 2,394. Great work, Cheryl. So all of us are doing pretty well so far with our profits overall. Yeah, even myself, even I just took that one lucky, well, I wouldn't say lucky because it was an actual entry, but one good trade today to pretty much kick off the trading week. So yeah, kicking off the trading week, there's some pretty nice profits right here, about 2,000. I'll be looking for, the main thing I'm looking for, guys, is the sell here, the sell off a 10-minute. Because for this right here, if I could catch this sell and then write it down, it could be a nice profit. Because the thing is, if I take this with the 10 lot, this is going to be like, this is going to be a lot of pips. I mean, a lot of profit. Or even if I take it with one lot, if I take it with a one lot, it'll be 1,500 pip, $1,500 profit. If I take it with a 10 lot, it'll be 15,000. So a big difference there. And I do see this possibly dropping at some point. It's just, we need to have that valid signal. So I'll be looking for that valid signal here. Looking here on the 3-minute, there's no entry available yet. In order for us to have a sell here, we need price to be below the pivots. So I need price to be down here with a sell signal in order for me to take that sell. And currently right now, it doesn't look like we're going to get that sell anytime soon because it looks like we need a retracement. So we have a sell signal here. The next signal is going to have to be a buy signal before we get another sell signal. But price looks like it's starting to come down pretty nicely. Same with the 1-minute over here. So we do have this liquidity zone drawn from earlier. If it drops below here, it's probably going to continue to drop even further. Here we have the pending sell. If this sell right here closes in the next 4 minutes, this would be a breakout. Well, not a breakout, it'd be the daily entry for this right here. So let me scroll up real quick and see what I missed. I think Roger had another question. Sorry, Roger, I think I missed missed your question earlier. And Roger said, and on the daily strategy, we can still take a sell if price is above the pivots and take a buy if price is below the pivots, where price is relative to the pivot, is not important for this strategy, correct? Exactly, Roger. So 100%. For this strategy right here, guys, we don't need the pivots. I'm just using this for a guideline as to like, where price is moving, but the pivots are not required. Pivots and trend meter are not required for the strategy. This strategy is based strictly off momentum. So the pivots are not necessary here at all. We're just looking for the momentum signal. So you're correct with that, Roger, 100%. Maddie said IG sentiment is back up 57% long. So let me scroll up real quick, refresh this. Okay, so now it's currently back. I don't know why it did that. I've never seen it where it's been empty like that before, but it is back. It's now 57% long. So with that said, we're still looking for short positions here. This candle hasn't closed yet. We have about 3 minutes left on the 10-minute. Looking on the 3-minute, nothing there. 1 minute over here as well. Yeah, nothing really. Nothing available yet. It's 7:16 right now, guys. So I'm probably gonna get off in a bit. So if you guys do have more questions, feel free to let me know, and I can answer whatever questions you guys have. But if I don't see any entries from now until 8, I'm probably gonna call it a day. I'll be looking for the daily entry on my own time. If I do take it, I'll let you guys know. But I mean, for the most part, I'm probably just gonna call it a day. I'm happy with my profits for today, even though it was an accident. I'm up about 2,000 for the day. So with the new FTMO split, it's gonna be really nice. Their 80-20 split. It's gonna it's definitely gonna add up over time. Slorm over here sent me her profits or his profits. Sorry, Slorm. I'm just still not sure. What to call you? But Slorm locked at a total of 1,030 today. So Slorm, nice profit off that. Great profit so far. You've been like on fire, like just looking at your profits like every day. You've been doing pretty consistent. So Slorm sends me their profits every day. Today, no losses. On the 17th, no losses. On the 16th, no losses. On the 14th, no losses. Like straight wins, every single day. So definitely great work with that consistency there. Maddie said, liquidity zone 1 minute might drop. Oh yeah, I can see this possibly right here too. So it did hit this area right here. Price might drop soon, just to keep that in mind. I'm looking for this right here. If this closes right here, then I definitely can see it dropping. So I'm looking for this to close for the daily entry. If you do use this, guys, use like a smaller lot size because it's a bigger move. This is a 1,500 pip move. And make sure to adjust your stop loss and TP when you have the opportunity. Damn, this thing's gonna drop right here. Looks like if I'm Eddie. I'm tempted to hop in, but I'm also looking for this over here too. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not gonna hop in just yet. I'm gonna wait for this to actually close out. Yeah, I'm looking for this 10-minute as well, Maddie. I want a better confirmation. So I'm gonna change my lot size to 1. I'm just gonna take a speculative, not a speculative, but I'm gonna take this is a way bigger move. I'm only taking a 1 lot for this daily entry if I decide to take it. I think it's gonna drop, honestly, because we've been waiting for this drop this entire day. So I do see it, coming down. Let's see, we have 48 seconds left. You can see everything is starting to shift to the downside, right? The 1 minute's now sell, 3 minutes a sell, 10 minutes been a sell, and the 1 hour is still a sell as well. Oh crap, I didn't mean to close that. All right, so we got about 30 seconds left on here. We got 20 seconds left. This is an even better confirmation of price close below the pivots because it's just indicating a shift in trend. So we'll see what happens here. 10 seconds. Oh man. 5 seconds. No entry. Okay, so no entry off the daily. Unfortunately, that thing just came right back up. So it didn't close. We're just looking for that valid signal right here. You guys gotta be patient. Don't hop in just yet. You guys gotta wait for that full confirmation because the last thing you want to do is enter a sell and then price bounces off the pivot right here because it didn't even close below it. And then it ends up swinging back up, right? That's gonna be the worst. If you hop in too early and then it starts shifting to the other side because we didn't have that confirmation yet. Here we go again for another possible entry off this 10-minute. It's gonna take another 10 minutes, so it's gonna take a long time before it actually closes. Maddie said, hopefully this one closes. I was ready for the other one. No, exactly. Me too, Maddie. I was waiting for that, and then it it ended up disappearing. So looking at current price now, price is it's actually doing exactly what I drew up earlier. So this is what I drew before market open at 6:30. I mentioned that price is going to come up, possibly reject off the Asia low and then come down, and that's exactly what's happening here. So the analysis is playing out perfectly. If this becomes a case, this is cool because we can start looking for sells off this 3-minute here. So if price comes below here and retraces back up and comes back down, we'll take this for a sell. Same with the 1-minute over here. We're looking for a retracement to the upside. We need price to retrace up slightly with the buy signal, and we catch it as it comes right back down. So just a just a matter of time. Nice. Yeah. So Maddie said he's taking advantage of that liquidity zone. So if you guys want to take, well, I mean, if you guys know what you're doing, you guys can, I probably see this dropping from here to this next zone right here. I don't know, if it's going to happen right now, happen later. I'm going to wait for an actual entry, but I do see this right here possibly dropping. What might happen is price might come up slightly. This is why I'm waiting for it, because we might get a buy signal where it pushes up slightly and then it comes back down for a second push down here and then it finally drops. That's kind of what I'm looking for here, Maddie. So if you want to hop into it, feel free. But I would probably use a smaller lot size and then have your stop loss a little bit higher, like above here, above these pivots, like a 500 pip stop loss, just as a safety net. See, Maddie just sent me some more profits. Damn, so Maddie's up 2,530 for the day. He caught the small move. He's trying to get into his 2K range in profit. So no, that's cool, Maddie. Maddie, he actually hopped into the sell here early, and then looks like he locked in some profit off it real quick. So really good progression today, Maddie. So like you can see Maddie's profits from 704. He was at 1,138. At 7:13, 10 minutes later, he's now at 1,674. And then again, right now, another 10 minutes later, he's now at 2,530. So as you guys can see, it hit the liquidity zone that I drew right here, and now it's starting to come down. And I'm tempted to hop in, but I also don't, because I'm happy with my profits for the day already. I don't want to risk it hopping into something that I'm not like 100% about. So I'm not going to hop into the sell. I'm just going to watch it. If it comes down, great for whoever caught it, but I'm not going to just hop into it myself because I take bigger lot sizes. So the risk of me entering this trade right here and it going back up is going to be higher risk than it would be if you're using a smaller lot size. I'm also still looking for the sell here off the 10-minute if this right here would close. But it's looking good. I mean, everything here is playing out exactly how we mentioned, right? Even on the 4-hour, on the 1 hour, actually. I mentioned price might reject off the pivot and come right back down. And that's kind of what's happening at this point. For the 10-minute, we just need that sell signal. Once we get that sell signal, it'll confirm the push to the downside. And we could actually make some pretty nice profit off it. Nice work, Camo. So Camo said he's 2K away from passing his FTMO. Nice work, Camo. So he's up 2,054 right now. He only needs about 2,000 more to pass it. So you're almost there, Camo. Keep going. See if there's anything else over here. All right. So still waiting for this 10-minute. I don't see any other. Actually, let me just scroll up real quick. I think we had a question from Henry. So Henry's question is, what's your question, Henry? Sorry, I did see your question earlier, and then it kind of just, okay, I see it. So Henry said, if you were going to use a cash account instead of FTMO broker, which would you use for US30 if we live in the US? I would use TradeStation. And the reason for using TradeStation is that it's directly on TradingView. So you can trade directly on TradingView. If you're going to trade a cash account and you have enough cash to, fund a cash account like that, then you might as well just trade directly on TradingView since that's where we're applying the strategies. It also just, it depends on how much capital you have to trade. If you have little capital, you have to use probably an unregulated broker, something maybe like Hugo's Way or CoinEx, depending on how much you plan on starting with. But if you have like maybe 15 to 20,000, then you can use something like TradeStation so that you can trade directly off TradingView right here. So if you wanted to just enter a buy or sell, you can just hit sell or buy, and you can enter the trade from that point. It makes things so much easier rather than using multiple platforms. The only reason I use multiple platforms is because FTMO doesn't allow for any brokers that are compatible with TradingView. Once they do, then obviously I'm going to switch over. But for right now, this is what I'm using for the most part. So Maddie said sentiment went from 57 to 58% long. So looking at that right there, let's see. Yeah, so it's now 58% long. You can see a lot of people are trying to buy the dip, right? That's what everyone's doing. They're trying to buy the dip, but I think it's going to keep dipping. Like personally, I think it's going to keep going down farther and farther. So looking at the 1 minute right here, you guys can see when price broke the liquidity zone, it's coming down exactly to where we mentioned, right? It might not come down all the way. It might come down to this London low right here, and then it might bounce back up, but it's obviously coming down where we anticipated. I should have just took this trade, Maddie, because look at this. This would have been a nice sell right here for about 300 pips. It's all good though. It happens, where if I don't feel comfortable, I'm not going to take the trade. I don't feel comfortable with it, so I just skip this. I'm actually looking for the 10 minute here. If we get this at this point, then I'll be, super confident about the drop. Yeah, I know you probably should have just held it, Maddie. If you did, you probably would have made a lot more, but it's all good. It's better to be safe than sorry. It is Monday, so market is going to move kind of wacky today. Nothing unusual about that. It's just that's how the market moves on Monday because the market just reopens. David's asking, have you ever considered making K2 indicators for MT4? No, never. But I get this question all the time. Like comparing MT4 to TradingView, it's like comparing like a 2021 computer to a 1990 computer, right? You're working backwards if you're going to MT4. MT4 is actually, that's why a lot of brokers are switching to MT5 because MT4 is going to get discontinued eventually. You can see a lot of brokers don't even carry MT4 anymore. Like a lot of newer brokers, everyone's kind of pushing to MT5. It's just too, it's outdated. It's an outdated platform. I don't think they've updated since I can't remember the last time they updated it, but that platform is so outdated. Everyone's using it, TradingView now. So there's no reason for me to work backwards and make it for MT4. Yeah. So Solarm said comparing Windows 10 and Windows XP. No, exactly, 100%. The only reason people use MT4 is because they have to use it, right? It's because their broker requires them to use it, or like whatever platforms they've built off that. It's directly off MT4, but it's just too outdated. So I'm never going to move. I'm like, there's no point in me moving it to MT MetaTrader at all because the future is obviously TradingView, right? So everything's getting built around TradingView. So a lot of brokers are probably going to start being more compatible with TradingView. And you just have to work towards the future, or use a different platform because MT4 is just, I personally don't like it. If you ask me, I don't like it at all. I just use it because I have to. All right. Anyways, let me see if there's any other questions here. It's 7:30 right now, guys. So if you guys have any other questions, this is the time to ask your questions. The market's kind of slowed down a bit. We're not having daily entry just yet. So, and if this becomes invalid, then it's going to be bad news because there's going to be no entry for a sell. At that point, we're going to be looking for a possible buy, which we don't want to take because the retail sentiment is on the upside. So retail sentiment currently is 58% long. Also looking over here at the indexes. So the average today is now 500 points in the red. Looking at the actual stock index right here, it's still completely red. So it's going to have to drop. Looking at the futures data, currently 537 points in the red as well. So yeah, we got the 1 minute retracement here. Thanks for reminding me, Rav and Maddie. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to, I'll leave this up actually. So I'll just leave this up because it hasn't made its full move yet, but we do have the retracement here on the 1 minute, possible sell signal. If we get a sell signal below here again, then we're probably going to see the actual move to the downside. But we'll have to wait and see what happens from here. So rejection off the pivot, it's now coming down from this point. Man, the market died down a lot, huh? It kind of slowed down a bit from how it was moving over here. So as you guys can see, market open right here. It was bullish consolidation, drop, consolidation, drop, consolidation, and then now it looks like it's preparing for another drop from this side right here. Because you guys can see how US 30 moves, right? If you just zoom out, it's pretty. I just turn everything off. It's pretty clear how price moves, right? Bullish move right here, consolidation, bullish move, consolidation, drop right here, range or consolidation, whatever you want to call it. It's a big range back and forth, but it's considered consolidation as well. Drop, consolidation, and then now it's going to come right back up before it drops again. So if you guys trade US30 like enough, not just US30, you could trade anything. You guys can see these patterns here. It's just repeating itself. So it looks like it's trading a new range. So like right here, you can see price drop from this point and came up. So the range from this point was from up here and down here, right? This is the range. Now looking at current price, this might be the new range right here and to maybe up there or maybe even higher. And then price will probably just go sideways until it ends up going one way or the other. But we'll see. So yeah, there's a retracement there. In order for us to have an entry, you guys know that we need price to close below here with a sell signal. So we need to close below here with a sell signal. Once we get that, we can take that for a sell. However, it's 7:30 right now. It's getting close to 8. 8's usually the time where I stop trading because price starts to move kind of funky. It gets close to the mid-market reversal. So if you guys are familiar with that, you know, price usually goes one way from 6:30 to 8. And then from 8 to 10 is usually some sort of like consolidation range. And then from like 10 to 12, we get that mid-market reversal. So, yeah, I mean, so Maddie said invalid signal on 10-minute, which is right here. So we're no longer looking for a sell. And the reason for that is because the next valid signal is going to be a buy. So looks like that that sell we were looking for didn't come. Patricia said, yeah, Patricia said this market is whacked lately. Yeah, no, exactly. I agree with you 100%. The market's just kind of been back and forth. Albert over here locked in a total of 3,409. Great work, Albert. Yeah, I mean, the market, it's just, I don't know what's going on in the market. There's just a lot of stuff that's going on that's causing, you know, price to obviously not move straight. Usually, like when the market opens, it goes one directional, right? But lately it's been going back and forth. So right here, price isn't directional at all. I'll show you guys an example here for like whoever's new here, whoever hasn't really seen it. But let me see, I'm like blind, I can't find, oh, there's US30. Okay, so looking at this right here, I'm just gonna take everything off the chart and I'm just gonna mark up the session so that you guys can see what me and Patricia are kind of like referring to right here. So looking at this right here, 6:30. All right, so like 6:30 to 8. This is usually where price goes directional one way or the other. But price hasn't really been directional, right? It's kind of just gone up. It just created like a big range, basically. Price went up and then it went down, right? It's not really directional. If you go back to like previous days, like I think the last day, not the 20th, the 17th. Okay, so the 17th right here. From 6:30 to 8. All right, so from 6:30 to 8, like I mentioned, price usually goes directional, right? So right here, 6:30 to 8, price just goes down, right? From 8 to 10, this is where the consolidation phase happens, right? So 8 to 10, price consolidates. And then from here, 10 to 12, price reverses. Not really reverse, but it chooses a direction. So like one direction, directional consolidation, and then somewhat directional right here. This was Friday. So this, I mean, obviously Friday is going to be a little weird. So it's going to be harder to see here, but you can see price kind of goes directional again right here. Going back to the previous day on the 16th. So same thing again over here. All right, 6:30 to 8. See how price goes down? So from 6:30 to 8, price is directional. It goes down. From 8 to 10, price is basically ranging, if not consolidating. Right? It goes slightly up, but it's not really a strong push in the direction. It kind of just consolidates sideways. From 10 to 12, this is where price reverses. This is how price, this is normal movement. So when price is moving normally, this is how you know it's moving normally, because it goes directional, consolidation, and then reversal, right? This is why I stopped trading at 8. So I trade from 6:30 to 8 because this is where it's directional. I don't want to trade from like 8 to 10 because it just goes sideways. I mean, you can still make profit off it, but odds of you getting caught in a back and forth movement are very high. So 6:38, this is the only time I really trade. I trade Forex throughout the day, but US 30, this is the only time I trade. And then just going back to current price right here, you can see that price is kind of like moving a little wacky, right? So we were looking for the sell here. Now price is kind of shifting up, but it might be coming right back down. So I'm glad I didn't take the sell right here. Like I mentioned, price is starting to move kind of weird. So this is why I decided not to take this right here or anything else after. So I think I'm done for the day. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask your questions. Otherwise, yeah, I might just be calling it a day. The reason why I'm not really like inclined to take any risky trades today is because of how the market's moving. I generally don't like it when it's super one-sided because obviously price is just, it's uncertain, right? I like trading when I'm certain. Like when I'm 100% sure price is going to go one direction or the other, then I'll take it. Like here for the 10 minute. If we had a valid sell signal right here, I would have taken some more sells. However, right now, price is shifting. So the daily is going from now a sell to now a buy, but price still hasn't chosen a direction. Just looking at this over here, going to current price today, from 6:38, price is just going back and forth. There's no direction that's been set at all. So, yeah, I think that might be it. So Sam's asking head and shoulders on the 1 minute. So let me check real quick. Possibly. I don't trade patterns at all. Sam, and on the 1 minute, it's like there's so much noise on the 1 minute where I wouldn't really recommend that you trade patterns on here as well. So I'm gonna try to draw the head and shoulders that you mentioned. Let's see. Okay, so I think you're referring to this as the shoulder, right? Shoulder, head. It's kind of it's an ugly head and shoulder, but it does fit, your nails there. So I don't know, maybe this might be head and shoulder. I wouldn't really recommend drawing patterns on the 1 minute. I like drawing patterns on the higher time frames, like if I was to draw a pattern, but it's kind of it's a messy head and shoulders, right? It's not very clear, but it does look like a head and shoulders though. So possibly not, who knows? But for me personally, I don't really like drawing patterns like that. I'd probably, if you want to draw like a cleaner head and shoulders, I'd probably use maybe the 5 minute or even the 10 minute right here. 10 minute would probably be the best option. Maybe your head and shoulders right here might be building. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't like drawing patterns because I feel like patterns are kind of subjective, right? Like what you see might be completely different from what I see, but I do see the 1 minute there that you were drawing. It looks like it could be a head and shoulders, but it's a really messy one. It's not really all that clean. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else here. Yeah, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to drop your questions in the chat. Otherwise, I'll be logging off shortly. So I'll give it a few minutes for any other questions to come in. Otherwise, I think I'm done for the day. I already made my profit. I don't want to risk losing it, taking something very risky when I'm not 100% about it. So I'll sit around for a little bit. If you guys have questions, drop in the chat. Otherwise, just a reminder, we do have our mentoring session, a group mentoring session tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific time. So I'll give you guys an update in the chat to remind you guys, but we do have, we'll have that mentoring session and I'll go over, basically any other questions you guys have more in detail when we have more time tomorrow. Yeah, exactly, Sam. Sam said, I know it's messy. Yeah, the 1 minute's just messy because there's a lot of noise on it. All right, guys. So I think that's it for this session. I don't have any other questions. A lot of you guys are messaging me telling me that, yeah, so Maddie's done too. Maddie said, I'm done for the today. Market's weird. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys tomorrow for the next live session. So have a great rest of your morning, guys. If you guys want to keep trading, use a smaller lot size, use a tighter stop loss. But I would recommend to just sit out the market because the market is moving kind of weird today. So see you guys tomorrow.